Welcome to Good Books Lately. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Taylor, and today we are coming at you with a What We're Reading in July TBR video. Now, as it is right now, today is actually July 4th. Happy 4th of July, those of you celebrating. So we've kind of moved into July a little bit.
Yeah.
But we want to share with you guys what's coming up.
Yeah, what we've got planned for the rest of the month.
And you have
I have
two.
I have three. I have three, but
three.
two presently in my possession.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are, and these are, like we've said in the last TBR, these could change.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't overdo it, so I think that this should be... The only thing is that I'm currently reading things right now, so I have to take into consideration that. But I feel like...
I think you're right. You're pretty close to being done on one.
Yeah, and if you don't hit the mark, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and commence our What We're Reading in July, and we're going to start with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So my first, there we go, is going to be the second in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, or the Bill Hodges trilogy by Stephen King, Finders Keepers. Really eager to get into this. I really enjoyed Mr. Mercedes and that story and the characters in it, and they continue on in this one from what I know. Definitely a graphic looking cover design.
There's so much blood.
But yeah, I picked up this one and the third one in the series from an antique mall in Boulder City in a hardcover edition, so I'm excited to break into those. I believe it has something to do with somebody finding something from the previous stories, kind of grisly, whatever you call it.
Is this like in the future?
Yeah, this is after Mr. Mercedes. The characters are back together somehow. I'm not sure how. I'm eager to jump into it, and I feel like I can fly through this because I flew through Mr. Mercedes relatively quickly, and I think it's going to be a similar case for this.
I'm wondering if what they find has anything to do with this notebook.
Might be, yeah, it might be. I think it might say in the thing, but
well, it says here, starring the same compelling trio of mismatched heroes, Stephen King introduced in Mr. Mercedes, shortlisted for the Edgar Award for Best Novel, a masterful, intensely suspenseful novel about a reader whose obsession with a reclusive writer goes far too far. That's like, Misery. Isn't that similar? Like she's kind of obsessed with
and he wrote Misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, and I know there's a lot of kind of stories or offshoots from this that I would want to get into, and there's that relatively new book, Holly, that includes the character from here that I'm kind of trying to get through to get to that book as well. So yeah, eager to get to that once I'm finished with the two books I'm reading now.
Perfect.
What's your next one?
So in addition to this one's kind of
You're in the process.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I am currently reading some things right now. I'm almost close to being finished. I'm wrapping up one of them, and we will talk about that on our update video if we haven't already uploaded that video.
Yeah.
This book right here, this is called Slewfoot, and it's by Brom. So as far as I know, he goes by Brom, but his full name, I'd like to know what his full name is.
I just read it the other day, actually.
I mean, he just goes by Brom. It's
yeah,
like,
but that
Madonna.
Yeah, there's something else. No, he's got a full name, obviously.
I mean,
but I read it the other day because
it's got to be in here.
That used bookstore up on Tropicana.
Yeah.
They had a copy of a story of his called I can't remember, but it's basically a dark retelling of Peter Pan. The Child Taker or something it's called.
Okay.
And it looked really cool.
So he is Gerald Brom.
That's it,
Gerald Brom. Okay, so he writes dark, you could call them horror, I guess. That could be what they are. Dark fiction. And he's actually an illustrator by trade. And then secondarily, he is a writer. And his books are like very in, the dark, cultish, arts and witchy stuff from what I can see. He has like a book called Krampus, I think, which is like horror Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. The book I was talking about is called The Child Thief.
The Child Thief. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm on this, like, I don't know if I'm into like horror, full on like horror that's really, I don't know what you would call that, like gory, graphic, that kind of thing, but dark, mysterious, maybe a little witchy. Like I'm kind of into that theme right now. So I had been interested in this because I found it on Goodreads randomly, and I loved the theme of this, A Tale of Bewitchery. The illustration on the front is so beautiful. I keep putting
and the
this up.
illustrations on the back and the inside.
There's this illustration on the back.
And you said there's a few throughout the pages,
And
but not a lot.
there's not a lot, but there are a few. Like you get
and
the
color
glossy.
too.
They're beautiful, and I would, I feel like you gotta see it for yourself. I could pop all of them up in here, but they're really impressive. Like just really
Really
cool.
carry the theme.
Yes, and it goes along with the story. So it's like reading, partially illustrated book, which I think is really cool. I started listening to this about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Before I was able to find a copy of this book, because I
Yeah.
couldn't find a hardback copy of this book here in town, which I ordered
Right.
this one on Pango.
Pango.
Yeah, and I got it for a really good deal.
Yeah. And it's like brand new.
It's brand new.
Never used.
And it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It's wide set. This is a wider book than like a typical, like if you
Yeah.
grab which is interesting because I kind of enjoy, like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little wider than this one. So I started listening to this. So I guess this isn't really a TBR, but I haven't officially started reading the physical copy, which
You're
I
gonna switch over.
I'm gonna
You're
switch
make
over because
switch,
I'm
find the
only.
page number.
But I will say though, the audio version of this is lovely. The
Yeah.
woman who narrates this book does a fantastic job. It's very eerie. The voice is it's really perfect for the characters so far. I've only made it this far into this story. You can kind of tell. I would say that's maybe 14% into the story, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And my intention for July is to
Get it knocked out.
get it knocked out. This takes place during the Puritan
Yeah, what did it say?
witch hunting in the United States in the
Connecticut,
colonies.
1666. So
Yeah,
it's-
Connecticut 16. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like really early.
right, early America.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
it
even
wasn't even
America.
America. Well, it was
Colonies.
not the United States at that point. yeah.
Colonies.
The colonies during that
A very Puritan pilgrimage. Yeah,
pilgrimage.
that's it.
It's just Puritan
Pilgrim
and
Rock. What is it?
Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah, I mean this is after that, but this so it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
got witchy vibes to it,
Cool.
and I think it's supposed to have a really good revenge element to it, which I'm really excited about. So far, the writing is excellent.
Good.
That is my first for July, and I know it's technically I'm like kind
Yeah,
of starting
who
it,
cares?
and maybe I'll just continue listening to it. I don't know. It's
both.
really a beautiful like audiobook. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hey, what are you gonna do? All right.
Your turn.
Yeah, my next one, I'm gonna get a nonfiction in
Ooh,
there.
this one,
Favorite author of mine for nonfiction. I loved Devil in the White City. This is Eric Larson's Thunderstruck, and this is the story about Marconi and kind of
The Telegraph guy.
yeah, and it's like a murder story. I love a good
What do you mean it's a
nonfiction
murder
book.
story. A true story of love, murder, and the end of the world's great hush.
There you go. Yeah, and I love a good nonfiction. I love one that kind of involves kind of a narrative that gets you, is suspenseful or mysterious. And Eric Larson does a great job when he tells these kind of old stories that have what feel like murder mysteries or kind of like haunting tales.
Right. I feel like when you were explaining Devil in the White City to me,
Yeah.
you kind of, it sounded to me like it was a type of like a genre that hadn't really been tapped. And
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
only because I think I just
right.
didn't know. But I think people are referring to it as narrative nonfiction.
Yeah.
You're getting a nonfiction story, but it's being told as a narrative. So you kind of, if you didn't know otherwise, you could be convinced it were fiction. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like Eric Larson, that's kind of his forte.
Oh yeah, and I've only read Devil in the White City. Might as well,
Yep.
pick up some more Eric Larson and get myself reading him more.
Well, especially because he has that new one. What's the new one called? It's not this one because this one
No.
came out in.
Yeah, I don't
looking at
remember.
this one right now.
It's about Fort Sumter,
Maybe,
right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There he is, old Mr. Larson himself.
You're on him. Just scroll down.
I'm trying to. That's what he looks like. Sorry.
Should be at the very bottom.
Oh,
There.
the demon of unrest.
Yeah.
A saga of hubris, heartbreak, and heroism at the dawn of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think once I'm in the middle of two books, I'm probably gonna finish both about the same time, and I'll jump into this one. It'll be my nighttime.
Wait, let me have that back though because I'm curious about this.
Nonfiction.
Yeah, nighttime nonfiction.
Yeah.
That's a new video. Nighttime nonfiction.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool map inside.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But it's about Marconi.
Well, Marconi plays his part in it, or he's involved in it.
In Thunderstruck, Eric Larson tells the interwoven stories of two men, Holly Crippen, a very unlikely murderer, and Guglielmo Marconi.
Guillermo.
It looks like it says Guglielmo.
I think it's Guillermo.
Guillermo? That doesn't say Guillermo. Guglielmo. Okay, so my next one is The Tainted Cup.
All right. Yeah.
This is by Robert Jackson Bennett. It's a standalone fantasy mystery. Sorry.
That's right.
You want me to put it back
Oh.
up there a little longer? Let's get it up there. Look how beautiful this is. There's
That's
no
a really cool cover.
It's no
it
book
feels like
jacket.
it should be. Yeah, it feels like it should be a book jacket or like textured, but it's just
It's so
a
nice.
picture.
And like the green, like
Yeah.
how it's just a beautiful, beautiful color cover. But if you look close, I don't know if anybody noticed this, which kind of gives it an interesting edginess. You see the skulls in the middle of the flowers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Cool.
So this is called The Tainted Cup. It is by Robert Jackson Bennett. It is a Holmes and Watson style fantasy murder mystery.
Detective kind of thing.
Yes.
All right.
So it takes place in a fantasy realm. And apparently it says in Daratana's grandest mansion, an imperial officer lies dead, killed to all appearances when a tree erupted from his body. Even here at the Empire's borders, where contagions abound and the blood of the Leviathans works strange magical changes, it's a death both terrifying and impossible. And then there's some characters that come into play that have to help solve
Yeah.
this murder. I heard when I was, I think it was like a month ago, I was looking for standalone fantasy books, and I heard that this is just excellent. It's a recent publication too. I've heard such good things about this.
Yeah.
It came out in this year. It's brand
Okay,
new.
cool.
And his other books, City of Stairs, City of Blades, City of Miracles, Foundry Side, Shorefall, Locklands, and then The Tainted Cup. So I'm really excited about this. It's been sitting up on my shelf for a little while now.
Yeah,
I
getting
think it'd be
into
kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks
to
cool.
try.
Sounds great.
I think you would like it too.
Probably.
Just based on that alone. So who knows?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking that this, as like a standalone fantasy, might be what kind of leads me into August and maybe reading Neverwhere.
Oh yeah, it should. Yeah, that's you need to.
Okay, good. So yeah, that's my next one,
All
The
right.
Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett.
Cool.
Do you have any
Awesome.
more?
I have one more. It's not with me. It's on order from Thrift Books.
I wish you had it. It's such a cool looking
I
cover.
well,
We'll
I don't
talk
even
about
know what cover it's going to be, but I ordered it through Thrift Books used. We had a free book. Ordered that.
We had a free book because some of you amazing folks are using our link down below in the description
signed
box
up.
to sign up and order books through
Yeah,
Thrift
so
Books.
awesome on that.
And it helps to support our habit.
Yeah,
Which
our
is
addiction.
Really, really very cool
Yeah.
because those books help to show here.
Yeah, but it's High Fidelity by Nick
Yeah.
Hornby. I've been following along with Books Are Sick, doing his Patreon book of the month read. I did Jurassic Park in June. This month it's High Fidelity.
It came really close to being this or American Psycho.
Yeah, the final three were American Psycho, Fight Club, or
Right.
High Fidelity, and it looked like it was going to be American Psycho, and then all of a sudden everyone jumped on the High Fidelity train.
I think that's good. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I've never watched the movie.
High Fidelity.
High Fidelity
Neither
movie.
have I.
And I haven't read the book, so I'm excited to get into it and look at it. I kind of browsed through it when we were at the bookstore the other day.
The bookstore.
The bookstore. So yeah, I'm into it. I didn't pick it up at the bookstore because I didn't like that cover.
Which
'Cause
cover? That was the cover I thought was cool. Was it? The
Yeah,
one
but
with
it had the
records
big
on it?
Hulu
that's
sticker. I don't
so
like the
annoying when they
incorporated.
put,
I
like,
don't know.
those
It's just a
stickers.
personal thing.
It wasn't
So-
a sticker, was it? It was
No,
like
it's like
emblem.
on. Yeah. So I ordered it from Thrift Books. Like I said, I don't know what the cover is going to be. I'm
This is
hoping.
the alternate cover.
Yeah, I'm
one
hoping
of
it's either
them.
going to be the one, that one, or the one with John Cusack, not Joan. She wasn't in it as far as I
Okay,
know.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we'll throw it up in the
Yeah, I'll
screen.
have it. It's all
Uh,
good. It's
but yeah,
already
so
there.
that's going to be mixed in there as well at some point.
I'm just excited to watch the movie.
Yeah.
I'm a huge John Cusack fan. It actually blows my mind that I haven't seen this. And maybe I have.
Oh,
I don't know.
there was something I was looking at about it had a movie.
A book?
Oh, yeah, one of the book. We'll talk about it.
On our update video?
Update video. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But this is going to be one for July.
Yes. Yeah, for July. This is the third one of mine own. Hopefully I can get some more in, but I think I'm going to try to
think
stick to
that's
these three
plenty, yeah.
plus the two I'm already reading.
Yeah, you're reading two right now. It's already July 4th.
Yeah.
That's good. You're
All
going to
right,
keep us
you
moving.
have
I
one more, though.
more, and this is a little one. So Brandon has an interest in starting reading some Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah, and you got me a nice Father's Day gift.
Yes, and
Which
we'll
I
have that
shared
the
on
next-
Instagram.
You should. Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it on the update video too. So I read a book, 3/4 of a book. I never finished it, and maybe I should. And I believe it was called The Paris Wife. Is it called The Paris
Right.
Wife?
Yeah, no, it was the Paris Wife, right?
I think it was. But in this book, she meets up with Ernest Hemingway. Yes, it's called The Paris Wife by Paula McLean. And you kind of meet and move around and do some things with Ernest Hemingway in this story.
Yeah.
And I remember the story was interesting, but everything about him was fascinating
Yeah,
to me.
that's
Like
what I
he's
hear.
just, he was like a fascinating guy, an amazing writer as far as, you hear. And I figured since you're interested, I kind of wanted to maybe give it a try too.
Yep.
I did we did, I don't know, years ago, my God, Steinbeck. We did a
Yep.
little bit of Steinbeck, but very little. I think I read Cannery Row.
Cannery Row.
I think that was all I read.
Did you read East of Eden?
No.
No, we watched the movie.
We watched the movie. I don't know.
Did
Based
we
on
read
Cannery
the
Row.
Tales of Pippin? I didn't read that.
I didn't read it, but we have it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's for me,
Yeah.
but I don't, I don't
Cannery
know.
Row was good.
It was okay. Yeah, it was good. It was good. But Ernest Hemingway from this Paris Wife or whatever, it kind of just sounds like his style. Obviously, he didn't write that book, but there's something about Ernest Hemingway that appeals to me more. Whatever. The point is, I, in July, want to read The Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's Ernest Hemingway, but also because it's short. And it's like a little, I don't know, like a sampling. But this is also his last book.
Yeah, and everyone really enjoys that. I've seen it on some people's like top 10 lists all time.
Yes. And, one of the things that I read, I don't know if it was on the back of this. So I wanted to read something that was manageable and,
Yeah.
and all of his books are, they're not super big. Like,
The Sun Also Rises which is what you got me. It's not super
it's like not, I don't even think it's all the way up to 300 pages.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're manageably sized, but I wanted to try this one. And it said on here, a beautiful tale that tells a fundamental human truth in a volatile world from our first breath to our last wish through triumphs and pitfalls, both trivial and profound. What sustains us ultimately is hope. And I felt kind of like it's just a really good message for people. And I've found that over the course of these last several weeks of reading books kind of voraciously, that even some of the more just very fictional books, I've like taken so much away from them.
No, for sure.
That it's like feeding my soul. And this one, it says, Hemingway takes the timeless themes of courage in the face of adversity and personal triumph, won from loss, and transforms them into a magnificent 20th century classic. It just sounds like it'd be a good one to have, to say that I've read it, to learn from it, to feel it, let it feed my soul. So that is going to be for July
For sure.
as well.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
That's my July.
That's yours, mine, but we have one that
Our
we're going to do.
together book.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're almost finished with what we're reading now.
Right, the
which we
Riley
started-
Sager.
Yeah,
we started that
in June.
what is it, the only one left? Yeah, only
Yeah,
one
the
left.
only one left. And then so we're going to go ahead and move into
What Feasts at Night.
So we read, this is a continuation of the Sworn Soldier
Yes.
series.
The first one was What Moves the
What
Dead.
Moves the Dead by Tim Kingfisher. So we really enjoyed reading that together. And this is a continuation when the Sworn Soldier, I forget the name,
I can't remember.
but when they go back home to their Galatia.
Yeah, Galatia. Alex Easton is
Alex Easton.
their name. So there's a person named Angus in here.
That his like
his
assistant, kind of.
Yeah,
like
he's great. He's like a big
Scottish.
Scottish guy. It says, enter a cold, silent forest and find out what feasts at night in this new Gothic tale from best-selling and award-winning author T. Kingfisher, set in the world of What Moves the Dead.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I love T. Kingfisher. It's
And
going
it's
to be
also
great.
a smaller one.
Smaller, yeah, and we should be able to get through this in a couple of weeks.
And then Riley Sager has a new one out. We're kind of on this like Riley Sager. It's just I feel like he's a good
Perfect
writer
for
together books.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that one might come in.
So those are our July reads to come.
What we're reading in July. What are you guys reading in July? If you have any recommendations, like always,
Yeah, let us know.
drop them down in the description box. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
We're drinking these
Nixie sparkling water.
Lime ginger, organically flavored.
And I got watermelon mint.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, it's delicious. I really like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you're seeing this on 4th of July, which I have a feeling you'll be seeing it after 4th of July, happy 4th. Otherwise, carry on.
Yeah.
Happy reading.
Yeah. And
all the things.
yeah, you gotta like it.
Like it.
You gotta subscribe
it.
And leave some comments about what you're reading in July, some recommendations that you think we'll like based on what we're reading or going to read.
Yep.
And then we'll get back to you on those.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.